Yo, and welcome to Shooting the Soil. In today's video, we're going to look at this bed with a winter cover crop under the microscope, and we're going to compare it to the bed down there that I did not plant a cover crop. And we're going to see what we can notice for a difference in the microbiology. Other than that, we're going to give you a quick tour through the garden, see what we got going on for the 2025 season here in South Coast of Massachusetts, Growing Zone 7. So let's roll the intro and we'll get right into it.
NANI?!
Okay, so we're stepping into the garden here on April 6th, 2025. Our garden like a Viking walking onions are rocking. We planted them last year and they've already bounced back after the cold. Check out Garden Like a Viking's YouTube channel. This is the bed that we're going to be checking out in a second under the microscope with a cover crop of hard winter wheat. We also did a fenugreek to have a legume in there, but most of that died over winter. Here is a quick look at the bed end of last November after a frost or two, and it pretty much stayed green all winter long, photosynthesizing and providing some food to the biology through root exudates. And now we're back to April 2025. Over here is our strawberry bed, and we see a couple bouncing back after the winter. We also got a couple of small garlics popping up in the back there. Gotta love perennials when they just come back every year, especially when they taste as good as strawberries. Then we have a couple of other makeshift raised beds. The bed on the right, we're gonna plant sweet potato and leafy greens, and this bed over here on the left is what we're gonna compare the other bed to under the microscope. And this time we took some soil temperature readings before we took our sample for the microscope. We tested a couple of different spots and depths and pretty much averaged a half a degree difference between the two beds. Both beds had a similar layer of mulch, which is pretty thin now that some of it is broken down over winter. So I don't think that played a big factor in the temperature. Alright, so let's switch over to the microscope. Here is the bed with no cover crop. We are at our highest magnification of 600x looking at the amounts of bacteria. And here I'll speed up the footage a bit so you can see him wiggling a little bit better. And here's the bed with a cover crop at 600x. I didn't do that good of a job of getting equal amounts of aggregates and other stuff between the two shots, but I think you can still tell that there's a lot more bacteria in this bed with a living root in it. And I'll speed up the footage like I did in the last shot, and then we'll do a quick side-by-side. And all that motion and action can easily explain that half a degree temperature difference. And here is the side-by-side. We are cropped a bit and zoomed in on the original 4K image. And so, the main reason why we see more bacteria on the cover crop, right side, is because of root exudates. The plant is taking that sun energy, converting it to sugars, and pumping it down to feed the bacteria and the microorganisms in the soil, fueling nutrient cycling. So it's not just about legumes and nitrogen-fixing rhizobium, which are a great thing, don't get me wrong. My point is just that all plants photosynthesize, capturing that sun energy, and put a good amount of that energy down into the soil to feed the microbiology. Okay, so a couple of more microscopy shots on what we noticed between the two beds other than the bacteria. These next few shots are all from the bed with cover crop. In this shot, we're looking at some fungal hyphae. Both cover and no cover beds had very similar amounts of fungal hyphae. And here we have a testate amoeba. Very round one. Again, pretty similar numbers between the two beds, but I did see more smaller ones in the cover crop bed. And then, for protozoa, we only found a couple of these in each bed. This would be a flagellate because it has a couple of flagella instead of a whole bunch of cilia covering its body, which would be a ciliate. Right here you can see one of its flagella, or it's actually sort of dragging behind it. Alright, so back out to the garden. I asked Lilu to do something cute or funny for the video, and she actually did something somewhat scientific. She can smell that healthy biology, letting her know that that's a very healthy plant, and she's eating it to increase her gut biome. What a smart dog. Okay, so that just about wraps up the video. We just got a couple of more things here in the bottom of the garden to show you. We got some native black raspberry that's budding, and our elderberry over here is also budding. This was the clone from this elderberry right up here that is also budding and looking like it's coming back nicely. And my mullein that I just planted last year in this fabric pot, looking extremely healthy. Well, thank you for watching. Here's a shot of a rotifer. Hit those buttons if you would be so kind, like and subscribe, and we will catch you on the next one. Peace!